Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. It's been a little bit, but I feel like Fridays might be the new time to do things since I have a little bit more free time before I go to work. We'll see if this works out. And yeah, I haven't seen a ton of films because of my schedule, but I did see Mickey 17. I know this is going to be a conversation about A24, and I will explain why when we get to that. And I want to also say, like, I think that art deserves to make money. So when I say too commercial, I don't necessarily think that these films shouldn't make money. I know A24 makes a lot of mostly indie films that a lot of people don't see. And I'm always happy when people do see them. But I'm just wondering if there are certain people in charge, maybe moving things in potentially the wrong direction. But we'll get into all of that. I'm going to say hi to the chat, and then we're going to talk about Mickey 17 a little bit, which is not an A24 film, just because I saw it, and I would love to hear what you guys thought of Mickey 17 in the chat if you did see it. Bong Joon-ho's latest film. And then we'll get into A24 and Celine Song's new film coming out called Materialists. So I do have quite a few thoughts on that since Celine Song made one of my favorite movies in the past, like since I was born. So, or even before I was born, since I love, you guys get what I'm saying. Okay, so let's see here. We have Justin. It is. That's why I'm worried. It was amazing when it was low profile studio with weird but great concepts. Have a good stream. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I will have a good stream. It has been a little bit. Tyler, they're definitely more commercial than before, but if we see less Beau is Afraid type of stuff and more insert here, then yes, it will be. I see what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, I was a big fan of Beau is Afraid. I have an entire panel talk about that movie. If you've seen Beau is Afraid and you kind of want to listen to people kind of break it down, I think it wound up being like 3 hours or something like that. But there's a lot going on with Beau is Afraid. So, but yeah, I don't really foresee A24 going away from making weird movies. Especially when they are getting accolades for like movies like I Saw the TV Glow and things like that. But I definitely, and I think it is a little bit of like growing pains when it's like they do want to get more commercial success financially, and still keeping to their like core beliefs of indie filmmaking. Oh my goodness, I'm going to jump to this really quick. I have a super chat. Thank you so much. Just glad to be here. King of the Manties. That is very kind of you. Thanks for stopping by. I don't think I've seen you before on this channel, so that's awesome. Thank you so much. That's really generous and very, very kind. Okay, back to the normal chat here. Through the lens, nice to see you as always. Maxfield, he is at work. Yes, and everyone here is a cool cat. So yes, always happy to have him be supportive. Terrace House Guy, woo, made it for one of these. Oh, yes, you have. I feel like we're always back and forth on the dualies. And then whenever like John or Bumberger have streams that I'm not able to attend, but I can watch them from work. So it's very nice to have you here. Let's see, through the lens, I think Neon are becoming what A24 used to be. I mean, they can pick Oscar picks, I'll tell you that. My goodness, like they are killing it with that. And we have Luke. What's up, Tracy? Hope as well. Yeah, so nice to see you, Luke. I know you've been trying to collab again, and I would love to do that at some point when my time allows for it. It's so nice to see you here. Since I see a few people talking about Mickey 17, I'm going to bring this little thing up so we can get into it. That's one of my favorite images of all time of Bong Joon-ho when he won like 4 Oscars for Parasite. I like that he's making his Oscars kiss. It cracks me up every time. Let's see. Max says Mickey 17 was his most memorable next to Snowpiercer. Well, yeah, I'm glad you said that because to me, there are so many similarities between Snowpiercer and Mickey 17. Mickey 17 was fun, not amazing, but pretty solid. And you know what? That's kind of how I feel about it. I had a really great time at the theater. It is, again, very reminiscent of Snowpiercer. So if you liked Snowpiercer, you will probably like Mickey 17. I have to say, Robert Pattinson is so effing incredible of an actor. Like, my God. Like, we know this. We keep seeing it here and everywhere in every movie he does, but like he just brought such an interesting um character to Mickey that like you really didn't need, but he did it, and it's so quirky and out there and very like 1950s with his voice. I absolutely loved his performance in this so much. um Terrace House Guy says Mickey 17 was the first time in a while where I left the cinema feeling like I got my money's worth. Film had a lot of untapped potential and there were things it could have done better, but I liked it. And I agree with this. I really agree with this. I don't know if the studio had him make cuts to the film because, you know, it kept getting delayed and Warner Brothers did put this out. And I know this is a very weird movie for Warner Brothers. To have put out. So I don't know if the studio execs were like, we don't know what to do with this. This is very weird. And maybe because I do feel like it was kind of like a little bit more shallow than we're used to seeing from him. It is still layered, it is still complex, but it is definitely on the much more shallow side than what we've seen from him before. So I completely agree with you about that. Mickey definitely felt like there was some kind of studio interference. Yeah, exactly. I didn't even read this, but that's exactly what I was saying too. And I don't necessarily feel like it ruined the movie because I still enjoyed it, but you can definitely tell they were trying to make it more commercial, but like then you didn't have to though. Like Bong Joon-ho fans all showed up like that weekend to see it. It's still making and granted, its budget was way too much. I don't know what is that. Just the Warner Brothers? They're just throwing money at people and then expecting it to do well. Like, yeah, like Bong Joon Ho has a huge fan base. Robert Pattinson has a huge fan base. But I think the whole film cost, I think, like 150 million, and now it's not dying at the box office. But in comparison, I think it's still only made like 900,000. I'm sorry, I cannot talk. 90 million at the box office. So I think that that was definitely an oversight from the studio that, you know, they should have just, he doesn't need a budget. Like he doesn't need a huge budget. He'll make it look great. I would love to know what the Snowpiercer budget is, because that movie looked amazing. And it's essentially the same type of location. It's just not a train this time. It's a spaceship. Uh, David, nice to see you. Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we are rocking and rolling over here. And again, I know this is not an A24 movie. We're just talking about it because I saw it in the theater recently and I wanted to talk about it. We'll get to A24 later, a little bit later. This is not going to be a super long stream, but we're going to get through it. I prefer Oka. Is it Okaja or Okaja? I think it's Okaja, and I'm probably, or Okaya. I've never been able to pronounce that properly, and I've never been told the right way to pronounce it, so I apologize. So I prefer that out of his English films, but Mickey 17 was interesting enough. Yeah, I mean, and he's also like, I haven't seen that film, but I know it's heavily about the subject of animal abuse and factory farming and stuff like that. You can tell in a lot of his movies that is also a subject matter, because that was very prevalent in Mickey 17 about animal testing for scientific purposes, and just invading species and things like that. Robert Pattinson, more like Robert got a lot of ranges, and yes, no, it's true. That's good. I like, that's funny. He does. There was such a little promo for it leading up over here. Such little promo. Yeah, they didn't. I don't know. And the thing was, I remember seeing the trailer for it like a year and a half ago, and they kept delaying it and delaying and delaying it. And I think that can really hurt a film because people at that point are like, "Oh, did I miss it? Did it just wind up on streaming?" And so I think that is a little bit of what went on here. But I do think at the end of the day, Warner Brothers shouldn't be shocked this didn't make like crazy money because Bong Joon-ho has his fans. Yes, I am very happy he's Batman too. I know it's a very divisive subject, but I like him as Batman. Slifax, nice to see you here. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, like Warner Brothers should not be surprised that even though this is Oscar-winning director of Parasite and Snowpiercer did great and all that stuff, and a huge fan base on all these ends that I've talked about, there should not be surprised that this is not going to make tons and tons of money. So I don't understand why the budget was so big, especially when this director, again, does not need it. But we can move on from Mickey 17. I do want to get into what has been on my mind a lot since the teaser trailer I think it's the teaser trailer. I don't think it's a full trailer, but maybe it was, of Materialists came out. So we're going to bring this to the stage. So Celine's song made one of my most favorite movies ever of all time. Let me have it. It's right here. Past Lives is a goddamn masterpiece. If you have not seen it, it is so fucking good. I love this movie so much. And that was kind of like when I fell in love with Celine's song. This was her directorial debut, writing as well. Just an incredible filmmaker, and I do think she should have gotten more praise at the Oscars that year. But at least it was nominated for Best Picture, things like that. So we see this incredible film by Celine Song, and then we start to hear a little bit later that she's doing a movie with Dakota Johnson and Pedro Pascal and Chris Evans, and it's like, okay, that feels a little forced. I don't know why I mean, I personally, I think we all, if you've followed me, like, I really dislike Dakota Johnson. I just don't understand the appeal. But I've been making this joke that if Celine Song can make Dakota Johnson likable in a movie for me, then she is the ultimate director of all time. So I think that this cast is forced. I feel like A24 was like, okay, Celine Song is this new hot young director. But let's give her whatever she wants, but like let's make sure it's much more commercial. Because the premise, I'm not saying this movie's going to be bad at all. I have ultimate faith in Celine Song. But when you watch the trailer, it feels very generic, and it feels like they wanted to make a movie for Netflix, which is not anything close to what Past Lives is. Past Lives is a cherished movie. This kind of seems like a Netflix, we threw this together, or even, again, maybe the trailer's bad, but I think if you specifically look at the cast, they're all Marvel people, by the way. Every actor in this film is a Marvel person. And you just look at the difference, it's just like, okay, this definitely was forced upon her by A24. I'm going to jump into the chat really quick just to see what everyone is saying. David says, ashamed that, yeah, I'm out Mickey 17. You know what? It's not really bombing though. It's just what was expected, I think. And it is a really weird movie. So I get why not everyone is running to it. If the budget had been, a little like much lower, it would have been fine. But I agree. More people should see it. Past Lives is so good. I agree. I 1000% agree. I love that movie. The actress was also in Russian Doll, which is phenomenal. Yeah. Greta Lee is her name. Yeah, she's so good. And Jonathan Magaro is not in this poster for Past Lives, but he plays her husband in the movie. So good as well. He was just in September 5, if any of you have seen that. I want to see Past Lives so badly. Dude, it's so good. And like the end is what makes it the whole thing. The writing is phenomenal. It's a very personal story to her because it's something that actually kind of happened. It also showcases like it's a really, I think, a very strong New York movie if you want to like see what it's actually like. It all takes place in the East Village, and like that carousel is across the river in this like area of Brooklyn. It's just a great small film that I'm glad got so much attention last year. Gotta say, her working with a relative unknown to relative A-listers is a big jump. It is, and I don't know if they needed it. I don't know if they needed to give her this cast for this film. And again, she wrote this too. So she wrote, yeah, we all know she wrote Past Lives, but she also wrote Materialists, which again, from the subject matter, again, it could be amazing, but from the subject matter, it does feel like A24 was like, we will give you an A-list cast. We will give you anything you want. Just make sure this movie makes a profit and is, for a bigger general audience. So we'll see what happens. Movie fell flat for me overall, but it was still well done. I think Mickey 17 on Past Lives. Haven't seen that yet. Yeah. No, and I agree. It's not, I mean, my goodness, it's not Parasite. I get it. It's definitely like the other side of Bong Joon-ho that we've talked about. But yeah, it doesn't have as strong of a message. But yeah, so like what I just, with Civil War that came out this past year, or I guess I'm sorry, last year. Yeah, this past year, last year. That to me was like their first tipping their toes into a commercial wannabe success. Um, they made a lot of mistakes with that movie. I think, and I have no issue with this normally, but I think it was very obvious that, and I really like the director from other things he's done. Ex Machina is one of my favorites. But I think you could easily tell that the movie about a civil war in the United States was definitely made from someone that doesn't is not American. There were just too many things they got completely wrong, and I think that that's not going to help amongst many other problems with Civil War. But that was like, that they spent $50 million on it, which was the biggest for them at the time. I'd be curious to see what they spent for Alex Garland. That's his name. Alex Garland has a new movie coming out. It is a war-based film. Um, Looks nothing like Civil War. It really does look more like The Hurt Locker or something like that. I'm sure the budget for that was quite high in comparison. So we'll see. I know they are using a lot more A-list stars. I mean, I've seen Paul Rudd, Jenna Ortega, a number of people in the A24 films that you would never see in the past. And that's typically where the budget gets higher. So we will see. I don't know if you guys know what the premise is, but you should check out the trailer. Um, I mean, we can just pull it up. I'm not gonna like play the whole thing. But it's like Dakota Johnson is like a matchmaker, and actually, I'm not gonna pull it up. My computer's having issues, and I don't want it to lag. But she's like a matchmaker, and I don't know if she's friends with Chris Evans or they used to date or something like that. But she fixes people up like the elite of New York with other elite people, because that's is a thing because of financial reasons. And she starts dating Pedro Pascal, who's like a multimillionaire. And I have a feeling it's going to be another like love triangle situation, except the love triangle situation in past lives was not really a love triangle, and it was just kind of like saying goodbye to a past version of yourself and your childhood, and embracing the new you as an adult in a different time. And so I feel like A24, I almost feel like A24 was like, make the commercial version of past lives and make it really fun. Like, does anyone else feel that way? I don't know. So we'll see. I still have faith in Slee and Song, but um, you know, I'm very concerned. And it's like, look at this movie on the right, does not look like an Oscar nominee, but maybe it will. Maybe it will be. I mean, we've had some in the past that have been surprises, and I know they are always looking for at least one or two lighter films to nominate. Is the whole idea of making it to be going Hollywood eventually? I make it to be going Hollywood. I'm not sure what that means, but I will think about that and get back to you, Max. I think I'm just misreading it. They all look so good on their poster, though. Yeah, obviously, yeah. No, it's a cool, like, they all look great. I think we all know, though, like, that it does feel like they, pushed Celine Song into a direction that she might not have been um, completely 100% into for her second film. Until A24 makes a movie with Dwayne Johnson, I think they're fine. Yeah, they are. It's coming out. If anyone in the chat knows what it's called, it is. It's the one where it's like a biopic about a wrestler, and one of the Safdie brothers is directing it. I think Benny Safdie. I could be wrong. I might actually no. I think it's the other one because Benny Safdie is busy doing a lot of acting. But I someone can confirm that. It does give the feeling of, here's a ton of money, now go do stuff with it. Yeah. I don't think that she had any I don't think she had any involvement with this cast at all. I think that each of these actors want to be in an A24 movie because it looks good for them, especially, someone like Chris Evans. Um, Pedro Pascal's in a lot of different types of studio films, so he's done like a lot of smaller stuff as well. I know he's in a lot of big stuff now, but he's been up in all around different types of budgets with films and projects. Dakota Johnson is still trying to become likable. So I guess this was a smart move for her after Madam Web, because Daddio was absolutely horrendous, and that did not work to make her likable. So it just made me like her less than I already had. And I want to like these people in these movies, but some actors make it harder than or make it harder than others to like them. The Smashing Machine, so likable you might even see it twice. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Syfax says A24 also gives these actors a chance to step outside what they usually. Oh yeah, for sure. I know that those three people's agents have been looking at A24 scripts probably for the past 2 years. Um, maybe not Pedro Pascal. Maybe that was more of A24 being like, oh, we want Pedro Pascal. But I really feel like for Chris Evans and Dakota Johnson, I really feel like their agents were like really looking at upcoming production for a movie that would fit for either of them, because they did need it. As in, the Smashing Machine is the name of the oh my gosh, thank you very much. Yes, that is the Rock's oh my gosh, my camera's been off this whole time. I did not realize that. 1 sec. Well, you know what? I should probably end this. I have to go anyway, but okay. This is so silly. I can't believe I'm ending with my camera off. I left it on too long because I was doing the ISO cubes earlier today on Bonebridger's channel. That's all I have. I know it seems insane that I'm in the dark right now, so I apologize. But thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I will be trying to do. I will make this a Friday thing, and we will. I won't lose battery in my camera next time. I promise. Oh my god, yes, that Sopranos ending. Yep, that's exactly what happened. That's great. Hilarious. Uh, thanks so much, guys, and I will. I'll see you guys all next time.